Okay. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. How is everyone doing today? It doesn't seem to be working. Give me a second. Hey Val, how you doing? Hey BL, hey JNB. Oops. Yeah, no. Something's happening on my computer. So, okay. It's not a quiet day ahead. It's a quiet day. It has been a quiet day. Yes, it has. I think today might be the second shortest stream that we might do. The first one was when the sound died and we had to end it 10 minutes into the session or 15 session. Today might be a really short one because it's gonna look like, it's gonna sound like exactly what we spoke about yesterday. Um, good morning, Diana. How you doing? Good morning, Carsten. How you doing? Hey, Pips Apprentice. Good to see you. So, are you ready for a really short session? I'm very well. Very well. You missed the message. I might be in your neck of the woods next week. A tight schedule though. Work on that. Hey Lainey, good morning. How you doing? Alrighty, one more minute. Won't wait too long today. One more minute. Oh, anyone entered any trades? Anyone entered a trade since the last time we spoke to yesterday to today? Anyone entered a trade? I'm not saying that there's no trading opportunities. You were trying to enter a trade over the last yesterday and today, it would be hard. One of the guys in the office here was just saying that he set a price alert 10 pips away on the US CAD and it hasn't even triggered. 10 pip alarm and it hasn't even triggered yet. Johnny says no, Diana says no trades, no Elise trade as well. Good job. Okay, so fair warning, this might be a short and sharp session, but welcome and thank you for joining me on this daily market analysis. Today is the 19th of September. We are heading towards the FOMC tomorrow, well, Thursday morning. We are heading towards the volatility we have seen yesterday and possibly through today. Some quiet market, some consolidation. So we'll get through that. There is the CPI data to be released for the Canadians later today. We'll look into that as well. We have the technicals. We'll look at where price is, pretty much where it was yesterday, where it could head towards. We'll look for some possible trade setups as well. Okay, with all that said, if you are new to the session, like Buzzer, right? Good morning. How are you doing? If you're new to the session, do drop a message, say hi, let me know where you're joining us from. And if you haven't already, do jump onto the Discord channel. That's where we can take our discussions beyond this 1 hour session. If I do see any trades for today, I will let you know and I'll update you there as well. Okay. If you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free, put it into the chat, let me know. I'll be happy to address your questions. And a lot of you are watching, not many of you are clicking. Do help me out. Click that thumbs up button on YouTube, the little rocket ship button on TradingView. And also, if you haven't already, do follow my YouTube channel. I'm trying to bump that number up. Okay. Hey D-Train, good morning. How you doing? Or hello. Hey Desiree, how you doing? Hey Jordan. Val did a short on pound yen, a short on pound, a quick long on pound Aussie. I'll match my strategy. How did you go on those? How did you go on those? And because it is such a slow market, I do have my third cup of coffee right here. Nectar of the gods. All right. So let me know how you went on those pound yen, pound Kiwi, and pound Aussie. One thing that, one little alarm bell that's ringing for me, just looking at that pound yen, pound Kiwi, and pound Aussie will be they are all, I hope they're not all at the same time. I hope they're not all at the same time. And I hope that, yeah, they're not all at the same time because it is a bit of a contradiction with a short pound Kiwi, long pound Aussie. So that's something to watch out for. Carson took a EU up yesterday, got 18 pips. Very good. Got 70 pips on all of them. Fantastic, Vel. Good job. Virtual high five. You were throughout the day. Very good. Nice. Okay, just so long as they're not at the same time, because if you're looking on two shorts, shorting the pound yen and pound Kiwi, and then looking at long Aussie, if they're all at the same time, something's going to work and something's going to go against you. But through the day, fantastic. Good job. Well done. With that said, quick disclaimer, any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. So please do your own due diligence because the contents of this webinar is not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product, and your objectives, financial situation, and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. Okay. Jordan's on his third cup of coffee and it's 9 a.m. What are you doing? What are you doing? You have to take care of yourself. You got to keep the insights good so that you can trade well as well. Okay, so watch that. Take care of yourself. With that, looking at the news, little bit of movements, all still in a single digit. Hey, US CAD went down 10 pips. You might have your alarm coming up. Nodding away, he's got his alarm going as well. And everything else is on the single digits. So with that said, looking at yesterday, no major news. No major news, no news to review. Today, this morning, 9:30 a.m., we did have the Aussie, the RBA with the monetary policy meeting minutes. Wasn't a big event, right? Came out, no major headliner, considered rate hike, but decided pause was stronger, as we saw. Determined to return, that one we know, return CPI to target in reasonable time frame. They've been repeating that all the way. Monitoring global economy, household spend, CPI, and jobs. Yes, we know that already. And downside risk to the Chinese economy had increased. That's something a little bit different, right? That's something a little bit different. If you are familiar of what's happening in China, there are very mixed news about what's happening in China, because in the mainstream media we're hearing about defaults on, I think, defaults on bonds. We're hearing the property bubble going to burst. We're seeing the markets crashing or starting to crash. It all sounds like it's doom and gloom. But on the other side, if you are looking, and this is a little bit biased, if you're looking at it through the Chinese media, then they're saying that no, it's a controlled slowdown of the economy because they're not looking, or they're realizing that they can't be growing at that kind of levels. So it's a bit of a controlled slowdown as well. So maintain that balance between the two media and the two points of view, but can't deny that, based on the numbers, there is a slowdown, and Australia being one of the major trading partners with China, a slowdown in the Chinese economy is going to lead to some downside on the Australian economy as well. Okay. Hey Jimmy, how you doing? So with that, what we actually saw on the Aussie, right, at that 9 a.m. time was a small move down, nothing much to note on release of that news. With that, then we do have at 5 p.m. Euro with their CPI data, no change expected. I'm not expecting any fireworks at this point. At 8:30 GMT plus 8 later today, we do have the Canadians with their CPI data. CPI month to month 0.6 to 0.2, a small drop expected month to month. Year to year median CPI 3.7, staying at 3.7, while trimmed CPI increasing slightly from 3.6 to 3.7. Essentially not expecting any change there on the CPI or the inflation growth data for the Canadians, which looks like we might see, again, not much volatility on the Canadians, but maybe a little bit of a downside, right? Some stability. 3.7 is a reasonable number, very close to the 2 to 3% target level. Maybe we're going to see a little bit of strength come around on the Canadian dollar. Okay, and then moving on from that, tomorrow 9:15 a.m. GMT plus 8, we got prime rates for the Chinese, not something I pay attention to particularly. And at 2 p.m., we do have the CPI data to be released for the UK, 6.8 to a 7%. What I think that we might see some volatility come around for this, for the pound dollar, and I'm anticipating a continuation of the downside. What I might do, most likely, because I'm in the office anyway, is I might be doing a live, we might look at this live together at 2 p.m. And it's only 1 hour before our session, so we'll do an extended session tomorrow. We'll do a live session here, and continue on to the 3 p.m. daily market. Okay, and all that quietness that we're going through right now is because we have the FOMC coming out Thursday morning, early Thursday morning at 2 a.m. GMT plus 8. Might seem like perfect timing for you guys in the other side of the world, but I'm on this side. It's a late night for me. I will stay up. I will be watching and trading this news event. I won't be doing a live stream because you don't want to be looking at me at 2 a.m. Not a pretty sight. Okay, but we do have more volatility to come around on Thursday with the SMB, Swiss National Bank, looking at a 25 basis point rate hike, and the Bank of England with a 25 basis point rate hike expected as well. And then on Friday, the BOJ with their press conference. A lot more volatility to come on Thursday and Friday, the next couple of days. Okay, with that, then looking at charts. Dollar. Yesterday, when we spoke about the dollar, it was, zoom in a little bit. Yesterday, when we spoke about the dollar, it was sitting at that 105.24 level. Right now, it is sitting at that 105.17 level. It's moved up a little bit, it's come down a little bit, it's gone back up. It's still within that range. We were saying yesterday it's going to range between 105.20 and 105.40. it's still there. Okay, but what I am now possibly anticipating is maybe as this 105.40 level holds and seems to be holding quite strong with that downward trend line as well, I am considering the possibility that might be, for now, the limited upside on the dollar. Might be limited upside on the dollar for now. Okay, so what I'm actually thinking is, today being Tuesday, it's going to sit there. Maybe it's going to bounce up a little bit, test, then after that turn back down. If it is along this 105.10 level by Wednesday, maybe a rate, they're not going to hike rates, right? They're not going to hike rates, and we might see the dollar go down from there. So, okay, I'm not going to be talking about that because that's tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But for today, what I'm looking at it is possibly testing this trend line at 105 almost 105.30 before coming back down. So, I think that it's going to range between 105.10, well, 105, 105, 105, 30, 105. Okay, so 105 is right here. 105.30 up there along that trend line right there. So I think it's going to come up, test this level, and then turn back down again. With, for now, no clear directional bias. But looking at some weakness coming around. So a test, weakness to push back down. And right there, 105. That's valid as well. Then 1.8. So I would take that one away. I'll take 38.2 away because it's somewhat broken. It's retraced back. Now I'm just looking for it to test along this range, maybe turn down a little bit with 50% right there. Okay. With some downside potential. Okay, now I'm happy with that. Range around here with some downside potential. Okay. Then, with that said, looking at the key dollar, right, it is pushing, it is on that trend line. We can take one away. Has that upward trend line. It's been ranging between 0.59 and 0.5940. Take that away. And now anticipating some weakness on the dollar, maybe something to consider about is push up 5945. Hey Angel Case, how you doing? Hey Joe Hanko, how you doing? About 40 pips, breaking above 50%, 20 pips at the very most. Could be looking for that. Okay, so because of that dollar weakness anticipated, going a bit now, could be looking to buy above that 50% retracement level or 5936. So 5945, 20 pips to 40 pips. 0.5945. Stop loss 20, profit 40 pips. Okay, guys, remember these are setups that we're identifying right now. Still in very tight consolidations. Don't feel like you have to rush into trades. So that was the Kiwi. I'm happy with that. Aussie did not trigger to the downside. It just missed that entry. Take that away. Definitely did not go up, so take that away. But remember when we were talking about this yesterday, I was saying that it's consolidating. I would like to see it push up before turning back down again. If the Kiwi dollar does push up, then we're likely to see the Aussie dollar push up as well. And that would work very nicely. That, right? So that move. So same thing on the contrary for the Aussie. What I would be looking for is now for it to push up, test, turn back down. Then you'd be looking to sell down from this point as a contrarian view, because we are expecting generally dollar weakness. This is if we see that some dollar weakness before that strength regains. 6465, stop loss very tight, no more than 20 pips. Take profit, not great, 28 pips. Not worth it. Not worth it. Unless you go down to this point and with some understanding that there might be a hesitation along this range. Okay, what you want to do here on the Aussie is to look for reaction along this resistance level at 6473. Okay, look for reaction at 473. If it does break up, then could be looking at 6480, 485, 40 pips, 20 pips, or you could be looking to sell down from here, 6465, gain 20 pips to a pip downside. So it needs to get up to this point before we make that. Okay, so for the Aussie, we're looking for reaction along 6475 resistance. 0.6475 resistance. The details of this, I will post it up. Okay, let me just look for reaction at resistance level. Then just because it's a bit too long, you can buy 6485. Buy at 0.645, stop loss 20, profit 40, or or sell at 4.5. I like 6.5, 20 pips to sell at 0.6465, stop loss 20, profit 60. This will be dependent on strength or weakness of the XY. Okay, just while I'm at it, I might post it up. Okay, there we go. So that's the Aussie, looking for it to push up before it breaks either to the upside or downside. Good morning, Klesniz. How are you doing? Then on to the US yen. Um, I was a little bit excited yesterday as it was coming down, sitting there. Early today, I thought, great, it might break 23.6. Then it rebounded straight back up, sitting at that resistance. I will hold this same view. I would say that I can maintain this view at 147.35, 30 pips to 80 pips. 147.35, 30 to 80, counter trend intervention, XY weakness. Yes. So that's the same view. I was contemplating whether it might be worth trying to buy it up, but with the way it is now reacting at that resistance, it's just the same thing. That resistance level is holding quite strong, so we could be looking for that downward push. The only thing I'm thinking is whether we could get in a little bit earlier. You could, but I don't think it's worth the risk. Right? If you wanted to do 147.50, then you might be looking at a 40 pip stop loss, at a 100 pip take profit. Then you just be at that 23.6 level again. So because of that, I think it would be better 147.35, 30 pip stop. Okay, so this scenario, I wouldn't be looking to rush into it because there is a level that reacted, came close and reacted and bounced off. So we will need to break before we do get into a trade. So we are holding that same analysis. Yes, okay. Then onto the pound dollar, pretty much still in consolidation. Drag that down a little bit at that support level of 1.2390. Now you can see that over the last that many candles, undecided is undecided. Tried lower, close back up a little bit. Tried lower, close back up a little bit. It looks like, right, this you might be thinking that it looks like it's going to bounce back up from here. It probably will come back up a little bit, but I think that it's going to remain within this range or this consolidation. And this is only, I think, a 30 pip range, right? 30 pip range. So because of that, what I would say, I'll maintain the same thing and stay below 1.2365. Take profit will be down about 50 pips. Stop loss 25 would be reasonable. Break out of the consolidation, we should pretty much see a straight forward move to the downside if it breaks out downside. Then it'll be just nice in that Bollinger to the downside. I'm happy with that. So 1.2365, 1.2365, 25 to 50, 1.237065, 25 to, okay, have it. Look at the dollar. Look at the dollar going down. Question is whether it's going to hold and hesitate along here and bounce back up a little bit again. Hey, Petrinovetos. Hi, Jamil. How you doing? Okay, so looking at this move down. Yep, okay. Then I still like the pound dollar. you like that pound dollar breakout to the downside. The euro dollar pushed up from yesterday to test that 50% and possibly even that 61.8 level. Came close to that 1.8 level. And with that, we can take that away because it's well and truly gone. Anticipating that dollar weakness, we're looking for this to push back up. So this should push back up. Upside only if it breaks above 61.8. Right? And upside only breaks 1.8. Might this level here, now that it's broken, I don't think it's relevant. I don't think it's any point of having it there. You could be looking for is a push above 61.8, 1.071015, 1.0715. Take profit 50, almost 6 pips to the upside. Stop loss, I would do about 25. Yep. Okay, and a hesitation at about 1.0740. Yep. That 50 is broken. That away now 1.8. So if it breaks above 61.8, that would see the dollar push down towards that 105 level, maybe even towards that 104.90 level. And we're going to see the euro dollar push up. So 107.15, 1.071525 to 65, 1.0715, stop loss 25, profit. I'll tell you now that I'm on as much as I believe DXR will make a new low till Wednesday, then go up. Yeah, I think it's gonna come down. I wouldn't even rule out that it could get to this point. 104, 104.90. But I'll tell you more about this tomorrow as well. I just want to see that first move happen. But we'll do a back test of what happens during FOMC. If I'm not wrong, we typically see the dollar does weaken FOMC. But we'll do a back test of that over a couple of scenarios. All right. Did I update my euro already? Oh yeah, I was gonna say that as much as I'm putting in all these setups here, I'm actually more tended towards not entering any trades today. Okay, unless I see a clear and obvious move or clear and obvious break, then I will look at getting into a trade. If not, I'm more likely, like I kept reminding you guys, Discord channel, that if you're sitting on your hands, not entering a trade, working on something else is definitely a good strategy as well. So based on your buyers, Dinah is saying, based on your buyers, pound could potentially lead to a decline as per fundamental. Yes, I think that looking at the pound dollar sitting at that support, If it fails to break higher, we're going to see a downward push also because of that CPI to be released, with CPI looking to go from 6.8 to 7. Then also with the monetary policy being 25 basis point rate hike expected on the 3rd of August. When that happened, 3rd of August, when they took it 25 basis points at that point, we actually saw a push to the downside. Wait, what time was it? 7 p.m., right? So we actually saw at that 7 o'clock timing push to the downside on the pound dollar. Okay. Back that I think in August, I think if memory serves me right, CPI data was actually a little bit more was actually slowing down, was indicating a slowdown. So the hike rates, then talked about possibly pausing. Then we saw the pound dollar push back up. Now with the rates, CPI possibly showing some push from 6.8 to a 7, that might push the pound dollar back down again. Right, so you expect the CPI will be negative? Yeah, it will. It will be a 3. Most likely going to be a 7, as it was as expected. Right, might be a 7, but I think that, or even maybe a 7.1, which could lead to some negative impact on the pound dollar. Okay. Hey Kelvin, how you doing? Hey Da Phantom, good to see you again. Hope I clarified the question there on the pound dollar, and also you're most welcome, Diana, and also the Austin with the dollar index. Euro dollar is done. We've done that. Swiss franc went up. Did not come down as low as we expected, pushing up, coming back down now slightly because of that dollar weakness. It's going to push down. It's going to sit around. You do have a very, I can see somewhat of a trend line, but not working out very nicely. Yeah, last time it got to this range, we saw a big push down. I would love to see the US Swiss Swizzy come back down, just because of that nice trending scenario. And that was only in July. I would, and I don't typically trade the Swiss franc, but this might be a good opportunity to sell it down to the downside, break out the channel back down again. So back to the H1 time frame, 23.6 is right there. I don't see a trade. It's very narrow. As much as it looks like it's a good selling opportunity, or could be a good selling opportunity, this is only a 26 pip move, right? And it's found quite a strong level here. You could take it all the way. That's a good 50, but I think that it's going to hesitate there. So it's not worth taking that risk. Just don't like all that tails and spikes. Very choppy. We haven't said the word choppy for a long time. So it just looks like a very choppy price action here. Okay. So what I'm looking at here on the sweep is that could come down, test this level, and then maybe bounce back up again. Right? So we look for reaction at 8945. Not a lot of trades today, so I'm not going to try and force out a trade. Look for reaction along 0.8945. Okay. Then Bjorn has a question. Good morning. How are you doing, Bjorn? Any thoughts about the Aussie Swiss franc? I don't have any thoughts on it right now, but I can develop some thoughts on it when I bring up the chart. So the thoughts on the Aussie Swiss, right? It's the Aussie Swiss franc or the Aussie Swiss? A mouthful. Okay, now Aussie dollar. Looking at Aussie dollar pushing back up, so some strength on the Aussie dollar. We were just talking about the Swiss that we could see it come back down. This will be mostly driven by the dollar weakness. So looking at the Aussie Swiss franc, just looking for levels right now. One there. Then moving up from here, major level will be. So now, next thing to pay attention to is that has been somewhat of a consolidation. Then also looking at levels here, we have 38 point, which aligns quite nice. Support level. So what I would be looking for, my thoughts, looking at it for the first time, right? I've just brought up the chart. So Bjorn's putting me right on the spot now, Bjorn, right? Is that possibly if it does break above this resistance, above 0.58, nice round number, 5810, stop loss, 20 pips, take profit, 45 pips to the upside. There you go. That's my thoughts on the Aussie Swizzy for the first time because of Bjorn. Let's see how that works out. I've got it on my watch list now. Let's see how that works out. Plus Nizi, sorry, massacring your nickname. Sorry to ask you about this, but most times I see you on hourly chart. Does it mean you don't need daily, weekly, and H4 time frame? I do not look at the weekly and the daily time frame. Daily's at the very, actually I don't even look at the daily time frame when I'm doing FX. I look at the H4 sometimes, right, to look for some long-term swing trades, or to look for major swing levels like those, okay, like these. So I look at it on H4, then I'll do it mostly on H1 and on the smaller time frames from there. Why I don't look at it on a daily time frame is sometimes it's just the levels are too far away. You're considering things of, that were, or levels that were in June and January, and too far away. Most of the time, what I found with retail traders like yourselves, would be that you don't hold on to trades that long, right? You don't hold on to trades for that long. So why are we trying to analyze and refer to price levels from that far ago? So that's why I don't look at it on the daily or the weekly time frame. H4, looking for levels, that's good enough. And then ideally, we're looking at H1 time frames for trades that you hold on for a day, at the most 2 or 3 days, to let it run. Okay? Hope I answer your question there about the time frames. Which currency pairs do you trade, and can you show again how to draw fib levels? Check out my video my YouTube channel about Fibonacci levels. I'm pretty sure I did one video there, so do check out my YouTube on the fib, on drawing the fib levels. Currency pairs are the majors, which we have here. I focus only on the major pairs, and those are the ones there. Okay, and then FX. Pretty asking about the euro yen. So euro dollar looking for some push to the upside, up above 61.8. You're most welcome there. US yen maybe push down. So on the euro yen, sitting in consolidation, right? Euro dollar trying to go up, trying to pull the euro yen up. US yen coming down, trying to pull the euro yen down. So what happens? Goes up, goes down, sits right in the middle. So that's where it's sitting right now, just below that 61.8 fib retracement level. If the euro dollar does gain more strength faster than the US yen can drop, then you're most likely going to see the euro yen push to the upside from 157.90 up towards 158.50. Oh, wow. Okay, so we are looking at possibly that push to the upside. Why I'm looking at that push as well is just from that previous move up. So a continuation to the upside, most likely for the euro yen, dragged up by the euro dollar. Okay, FX Chief Priest, hope I answered your question there. If it fails to break above, then back down. But it needs to be either the euro dropping or the US yen dropping, pull this back down again. Okay, cool. Then, oh, look at that. US CAD. No one told me about this. US CAD had a big drop. US CAD at 1.3460 in the last hour. Went from 1.3476 to 1.3460. Looks like a big drop. Not a huge one at all. Okay, but it's moving down. So we were looking at it on that support level. Broke down to the downside. A little bit surprising that it's moving. Oh well, it's because of the dollar. That dollar pushed down, pulling the US CAD down. Right? I feel why I'm looking at this as a little bit of concern is that it's moving earlier than this PI data due to be released. Okay, so it's definitely not going up anymore. Still supported to the downside. Way 50% broke, done. 1.8 broke as well, so that away. Like that as my support turned resistance level. It's still pushing to the downside. I did not get onto the, well, I'm talking to you guys, so I did not get onto the US CAD that straddle. So it is coming down towards this support level here at 1.3440. Okay, if you got, I have someone there who is laughing away because he's making money, right? Which is annoying because I'm here talking to you guys and I didn't get into the trade. But if you got into the trade, if you got onto the US CAD, let me know. That's a good 45 pip, potentially 45 pip move to the downside on the US CAD. Even if you enter at the start of this hour, you have about a 35 pip move to the downside. Now, if you did not get into it, then watch out. In 10 minutes time, candle is closing. Might bounce up a little bit, but I think in 10 minutes, still a bit of time, might come down to a support. So what I'm thinking now is that look for that reaction at 1.3440, right? And if it breaks below 1.34, so what I'm thinking here is going to happen is something like this. It's going to sit there for a little bit. The next 10 minutes, just trying to figure whether the next 10 minutes is going to drop further. I think it's going to sit there a little bit, especially 1.3450 there. Then what you'll be looking for is a selling opportunity. 1.3430, stop loss 20, take profit 50 pips to the downside. Continuation to the downside there on the US CAD. Okay, I'm happy with that. So 1.3430, stop loss 20, take profit 50. Sell 1.3430, stop loss 20. 30, stop loss. Stop loss. Oh. Hey, person on TradingView. Sorry, I'm not going to try and draw your nickname. Notice pound react to yen strength weak more than the Y. Don't think so. Pound react to yen strength and weakness. I don't. Pound dollar is back up. XY is down. So that's a good correlation there. Yen getting some strength, relative strength. Then pound dollar is some. No, maybe you can elaborate on that, Buba, but I don't see that correlation. Then on to gold. No more downside on gold. We are looking at dollar weakness right now, so not going to highlight the levels. Pushing up, breaking above resistance, breaking above yesterday or this morning's high, looking like a continuation to the upside. Now, with that said, then I would be looking to dollar weakness to continue. Look at that, right? Dollar weakness to continue, pushing this up. Would be a little bit more cap. This forming, it might just push up a little bit before coming back down again. But what I'm looking for, 1935, 1936, this level here. So I would be looking at 1936. I feel that to be extra, just in between this 1936 to 1938 level is just going to be a bit of a mess. So what I think you would safer to do will be 1937 towards 1945. Look at the dollar still down slightly. Above 937 good. get to 45. Alrighty. Okay. China pound dollar. So pound dollar. Just want to see if your liquidity area aligns with mine. Let me know. Looks like it's pushing back up because of that dollar weakness. So it might push back up. Yeah, regardless of if it does push back up, same thing like what we spoke about on the euro last Friday. Wherever it goes up to, I'm only looking for selling opportunity. Pound dollar with the CPI and the rate decision for the next couple of days. Buba, I'm not talking about now. I just know days. Yeah, I think it might. If you're looking out for it, it might be, but pound dollar definitely going to react better on against the dollar rather than the yen. No, there's no reason. Fundamentally speaking, there's no reason why the pound dollar and the yen should react or in correlation. No clear distinction. Some, but no clear distinction. Okay, with that, I hope, well, we took a little bit longer than I expected, so that was good. And also, if you have any other questions, do make sure you join the Discord channel. The links are there on my profile in TradingView and also here on YouTube. And if you can help me out, click the like and subscribe button. And if not, then I'll see you all on Discord. And if not that, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Tomorrow's session, we will possibly, if it doesn't go too crazy for now, we will possibly be focused more on preparing for the FOMC meeting and the possible trade setups that we might have at that news event, because you don't want to be seeing in the morning. And also, I'll most likely be doing a 2 p.m. stream, 2 p.m. GMT plus 8 stream for the UK PI data release. Okay, so a lot of things coming up. Do make sure you turn up and tune in. And for now, trade well, trade safe. See you again. Bye bye.